to an electrified MetLife Stadium as the New York Jets take the field with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback.
At 41 years old, Aaron Rodgers isn't just playing in the NFL, he's dominating it, defying the odds and shattering expectations. From miraculous Hail Marys to ice-cold precision under pressure, Rodgers has delivered jaw-dropping moments time and time again. But what keeps him at the top? How does he outplay the next generation of quarterbacks? This is the story of Aaron Rodgers, a legend who rewrites history with every second he spends on the field.
Aaron Rodgers is the only player to be voted to every top 100 list. His peers put him on after playing just 4 snaps in 2023.
Long before Rodgers became an NFL icon, he was just a kid with a dream, facing overwhelming odds. Born December 2nd, 1983, in a sports-loving family in Chico, California, Aaron's early years were shaped by his father, Edward, a former Chico State offensive lineman. From a young age, Aaron displayed natural athletic talent, following his dad's advice to stay focused and avoid distractions. His passion and discipline were clear from the start, setting the stage for his future success. The Rodgers family moved around a bit, with Aaron spending time in Ukiah and Beaverton before they settled back in Chico in '97. It was there at Pleasant Valley High School that Aaron's star truly began to shine. As the starting quarterback for 2 years, Rodgers just didn't break records, he obliterated them. With a rocket arm and an uncanny ability to read defenses, he racked up 4,421 passing yards and set single-game records with 6 TDs and 440 all-purpose yards. In 2001, he set a single-season school record with 2,466 total yards, leaving opponents and fans alike in awe of his talent. Rejected by top programs, Rodgers faced a choice: give up or find another path. He chose the latter, enrolling at the little-known Butte College. Even then, his precision and discipline were evident both on the field and in the classroom. Little did the world know, this high school quarterback would go on to become one of the greatest to ever play the game. Aaron Rodgers' college career is a classic underdog story, filled with challenges, unexpected twists, and moments of brilliance that foreshadowed the greatness to come. Despite an impressive high school record, Rodgers was largely overlooked by D1 programs. Standing at 6'2" and 225 pounds, he fit the mold of a future NFL star. How could someone with such raw talent slip through the cracks of college recruiting? And what made Rodgers persevere when the odds were stacked against him? Rodgers initially had his sights set on playing for Florida State under the legendary Bobby Bowden, but his dream was dashed when the Seminoles rejected him. The University of Illinois offered him a chance to walk on, but Rodgers declined, contemplating giving up on football altogether. It was a pivotal moment, one where many would have just quit. But instead of hanging up his cleats, Rodgers made a decision that would change his life. He enrolled at Butte College, a junior college in Oroville, California, just 15 miles outside of his hometown. At Butte, Rodgers quickly proved his worth, throwing 26 touchdowns and leading the team to a 10-1 record and a number 2 national ranking. His exceptional performance caught the eye of Jeff Tedford, who was head coach of the California Golden Bears, who was initially scouting another player. Tedford was shocked that Rodgers had been overlooked by major programs, and he wasted no time in getting him to play for Cal. In '03, Rodgers transferred to Cal and immediately made waves. He was no longer a community college student throwing around passes just to be scouted. Soon, he was named to the starting QB in the 5th game of the season and led the Golden Bears to his 7-3 record as a starter. In just his second start, he took on the formidable USC Trojans, leading Cal to a 21-7 halftime lead. Although an injury forced Rodgers to the sidelines for the second half, the Bears pulled off a stunning triple overtime victory. Rodgers' performance in the Insight Bowl against Virginia Tech, where he passed for nearly 400 yards and was named MVP, solidified his reputation as a rising star. As a junior in 2004, Rodgers' game awareness and trajectory skyrocketed. He led Cal to a 10-1 record and a top 5 national ranking, with their only loss coming against number 1 USC. In that game, Rodgers was nearly flawless, setting a school record with 26 consecutive completions and tying an NCAA record with 23 straight passes completed in a single game. His 85.3% completion rate in that game remains a Cal single-game record. However, despite his heroics, Cal fell short in the final moments, losing 23-17 to USC in a game that still haunts Rodgers.
Around, shopping, throws, end zone, no.
How does a player move on from such a heart-wrenching defeat? For Rodgers, it became fuel for the fire. Rodgers finished the 2004 season 2,566 passing yards, 24 TDs, and just 8 INTs, leading the Pac-10 with a 66% completion percentage. He even earned a spot in the Heisman voting, finishing 9th. Despite his stellar season, Cal was snubbed from a Rose Bowl berth, landing instead in the Holiday Bowl, where they lost to Texas Tech. Faced with the decision of returning for his senior year or earning the draft, Rodgers chose the latter, editing his college career with records that still stand today. It was a gamble, but as we know, it paid off in spectacular fashion. Looking back, what might have seemed like setbacks were really just the building blocks of a legendary career. Would Rodgers have become the player he is today without those early challenges? It's hard to say, but one thing is certain. His journey from overlooked recruit to college star is a testament to his resilience and determination, and it was just the beginning of a remarkable football legacy. What the world didn't realize was this underdog story was just beginning. Aaron Rodgers was about to prove everyone wrong. Aaron Rodgers, a name synonymous with perseverance and brilliance, has forged a legendary career in the NFL. From draft day heartbreak to record-breaking triumphs, Rodgers has battled every challenge head-on, solidifying his place among football's greatest. Rodgers' journey truly began on a fateful day in the 2005 NFL Draft. Once a top prospect destined for his childhood dream team, the San Francisco 49ers, fate had a different story in mind. The Niners opted for Alex Smith, leaving Rodgers to endure a painful slide down the draft board. Rodgers endured a gut-wrenching wait as the minutes turned into hours, watching team after team pass him by, until destiny called his name at the 24th pick with the Packers. For a player who had grown up dreaming of NFL stardom, this was a humbling experience, but one that would fuel his drive to prove every doubter wrong.
You got to get away from this at some point because it's too out of control. Which is Green Bay. I said, man, 24?
Rodgers' early years in Green Bay saw him in the shadow of the legendary Brett Favre, one of the most iconic football players. But rather than shrink, Rodgers absorbed every lesson, biding his time, ready to step into greatness. As Favre's backup, Rodgers had little opportunity to showcase his talent, but he used that time wisely, honing his skills and absorbing everything he could from one of the best to ever play the game. It wasn't an easy wait, especially with the immense pressure of succeeding a legend like Favre, but Rodgers remained patient, knowing his time would come. That time finally arrived in 2008 when Favre retired, paving the way for Rodgers to take over as the Packers' starting QB. The transition was anything but smooth. Fans clung to Favre's legacy, doubting Rodgers could ever fill those monumental shoes. Yet with steely resolve, Rodgers stepped into the spotlight, determined to write his own legend. Yet from the very start, Rodgers showed he was more than capable. In his first season as a starter, he threw for over 4,000 yards and 28 touchdowns, establishing himself as one of the most promising young quarterbacks in the league. His ability to make pinpoint throws, extend plays with his legs, and maintain composure under pressure quickly became his trademarks.
But can the receivers get far enough down the field? Rodgers in trouble. It's going to get to...
The 2010 season was Rodgers' defining moment, a season where he led the Packers through adversity and into a relentless playoff run. His journey culminated in a trip to the Super Bowl where he rose to the occasion, claiming victory and forever etching his name in the annals of NFL history. In that game, Rodgers was masterful, throwing for 304 yards and 3 touchdowns, earning the Super Bowl MVP award. This victory not only solidified his status as one of the league's elite quarterbacks, but also cemented his legacy in Green Bay. He had done what many thought impossible, successfully following in the footsteps of Brett Favre and bringing another Lombardi trophy to Titletown.
Jackson stays in the block. Rodgers throws the middle. Oh, my word. And a beautiful spiral over the middle across the 50-yard line.
Rodgers spent the following years redefining what it means to be an elite quarterback. His extraordinary arm talent, paired with unmatched football intellect, produced throws that seemed to defy the laws of physics, leaving fans and opponents in sheer awe. Whether it was a last-second Hail Mary or a perfectly placed deep ball, Rodgers consistently delivered moments of magic that left fans and opponents in awe. His ability to read defenses, manipulate coverages, and execute under pressure was unparalleled. Every week, Rodgers did something that made you wonder, how did he do that? But Rodgers' career wasn't just about the highlight reels. He was also one of the most efficient quarterbacks in league history. In 2011, Rodgers had one of the greatest seasons ever by a quarterback, leading the Packers to a 15-1 record and setting a then-passer rating of 122.5. He threw 45 touchdown passes to just 6 interceptions, showcasing a level of precision that was almost robotic. For his efforts, Rodgers won the first of his 4 MVP awards, cementing his place among the all-time greats. However, it wasn't always smooth sailing. Despite his regular season dominance, Rodgers and the Packers often faced heartbreak in the playoffs. They suffered several early exits, including 4 agonizing losses in the NFC Championship game. In 2021, Rodgers defied age and continued to perform at an elite level, winning a 4th NFL MVP award at 37 years old. That season, he led the Packers to another successful campaign, showcasing his timeless arm strength, quick decision-making, and leadership. Despite the constant evolution of the NFL, with younger quarterbacks emerging and new trends shaping the game, Rodgers stayed a dominant force, proving that true talent and determination never go out of style.
Woo. What a year, huh?
Yet, as all great stories do, Rodgers' time in Green Bay eventually came to an end. In 2022, after nearly 20 years with the Packers, he was traded to the Jets, a move that echoed the career path of his predecessor, Brett Favre. The trade marked the end of an era in Green Bay and just the beginning of a new chapter for Rodgers. Unfortunately, his time with the Jets was cut short by a devastating Achilles injury just minutes into his debut.
Protection breaks down and time runs out. Down goes Rodgers and the sack for Leonard Floyd.
It was a cruel twist of fate for a player who had spent his entire career defying the odds and battling through adversity. But even in the face of this latest challenge, Rodgers remained optimistic, vowing to return and continue his journey. So what makes Rodgers' career so captivating? Is it his unmatched skill set, his relentless drive to succeed, or the way he makes the impossible look effortless? Perhaps it's all these combined, wrapped up in a player who has consistently pushed the boundaries of what a quarterback can achieve. As Rodgers' journey continues, whether on the field or off, one thing's for certain: his legacy is already secure, and his story is far from over. The next chapter may be unwritten, but with Aaron Rodgers, you know it's going to be worth watching. So, stay ready to see what happens next, because with Rodgers, the best might still be yet to come. As Aaron Rodgers' NFL career continued to thrive, his presence off the field began to draw as much attention. Known for his sharp wit and independent thinking, Rodgers didn't shy away from voicing his opinions on a variety of topics, often stirring debate among fans and critics alike. While his mastery on the gridiron remained undeniable, his perspectives on health, politics, and social issues began to shape a new, more controversial chapter in his public life.
So once I was able to kind of get present in my body and start to look around, there's always little miracles around you. If you just get the hell out of your own way, you can see some of those things.
Particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. Aaron Rodgers stirred significant controversy with his views on COVID vaccines, becoming one of the most prominent American athletes to publicly reject vaccination. Known for his advocacy of alternative medicine, Rodgers opted for non-traditional approaches to health, including off-season trips to Purdue, where he consumed various medicines. His decision not to get vaccinated against COVID-19, coupled with his outspoken criticism of the NFL's health and safety protocols during the pandemic, sparked widespread debate. During a 2021 appearance on the Pat McAfee Show, Rodgers made several misleading statements about COVID, including claims that unvaccinated people were not the primary group affected by the pandemic and that ivermectin, an unproven treatment, was beneficial for those with the virus. These comments led to backlash from scientists, health officials, and even some former players who criticized Rodgers for spreading vaccine misinformation and potentially endangering the health of his teammates. His stance and subsequent remarks placed him at the center of a broader cultural debate, with some labeling him as a conspiracy theorist, highlighting the deep divides over vaccine acceptance in the sports world and beyond.
NFL star Aaron Rodgers tonight, who came down with COVID after months ago saying he was immunized. Tonight, Rodgers now saying, I do realize that I'm a role model, and saying he takes full responsibility to anybody who felt misled.
What's more, he believed that he was actually doing some good in the world because he wanted to publicly share his ideas on political matters too. So that's what he did. Aaron Rodgers has increasingly become known not only for his achievements on the football field, but also for his controversial political and social commentary. In 2024, he publicly voiced support for RFK's presidential campaign, with reports suggesting Rodgers was even considered a potential VP running mate. Beyond politics, Rodgers has delved into various conspiracy theories, sparking widespread debate and criticism. Former teammate DeShone Kizer revealed that Rodgers had expressed interest in 9/11 conspiracy theories, describing their discussions as a real thought experiment. Additionally, Rodgers has promoted the Tartarian architecture conspiracy theory and made unsubstantiated claims about public figures like late-night TV host Jimmy Kimmel, leading to a public dispute. During a 2024 appearance on a conspiracy-focused podcast, Rodgers further stirred controversy by espousing discredited theories about government involvement in the creation of AIDS and COVID-19, as well as immigration and the assassination of John F. Kennedy. He also faced backlash after CNN reported that he had previously shared false conspiracy theories about the Sandy Hook massacre, though Rodgers later denied ever believing that the tragic event didn't occur. His increasingly vocal stance on these topics has sparked controversy, intertwining his legacy as an athlete with his polarizing views on political and social issues. Aaron Rodgers' career and life have been nothing short of extraordinary, evolving from a beloved NFL star to a figure who sparked both admiration and controversy. Once the golden boy of the Packers, Rodgers has consistently shown why he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. His precision, intelligence, and a knack for delivering in clutch moments have kept him at the top of the game for nearly 2 decades. Yet as he's aged, Rodgers has become more than just a football player. He's become a polarizing figure, unafraid to voice his opinions on a range of topics that have stirred intense debate. But despite the controversies and shifting public perceptions, one thing remains clear. Rodgers is still dominating the league, even as the oldest player in the NFL. His ability to outplay younger competitors and maintain his elite status is a testament to his incredible talent and relentless drive. As Rodgers continues to defy the odds, his legacy on the field grows larger than ever. If you enjoyed this look at Aaron Rodgers' remarkable journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts on Rodgers' career and where you think he's headed next.